It was exciting, especially playing with those guys. I feel like this is the best team I ever played on, the closest team I've ever played on, playing with NBA-ready players. It's so much fun. It's the best feeling ever.
So in the starting lineup, you stepped out there. What was the first thing you were feeling when you stepped on that court?
Don't turn it over. Coach E's going to take me right back up. It's the only thing that was on my mind. Just don't turn it over. Play defense. Just get warm. Just don't turn it over.
Well, speaking of turnovers, you forced Wayne State into 22, I believe it was tonight, including 17 in the first half. What kind of tone is that setting for the season?
I'm pretty sure my role throughout the season going to be 6-man, and coach told me come off the bench with a spark. And, sometimes the spark don't got to be shots. It can be defense. That's something I can control every night. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not afraid to get crossed over. I just want to do whatever it takes the team to win.
It's good to know. What was one thing you're looking forward to after tonight's game?
Hugging my mama. I know Coach Heath is the coach, but my mama is the only voice I be hearing. Coach Heath and my mama be kind of back and forth. So when my mama tell me, cut to the hole, I'm cutting. She tell me to stop the ball, I stop. Coach Heath kind of the voice in the back of the head.
A lot of family there tonight?
Yeah, a lot of family ain't the word. They real, I'm real glad to see my family make that trip every game, every home game. I love them. That means a lot to me.
And lastly, what was the mood on the team? Obviously, victory kind of had to pull it out a little bit at the end. It wasn't quite as big, but kind of what was the feeling on the team?
The one thing I like about this team, I've never once felt nobody hold their heads. Even in the beginning of the game, let's go, we gonna win. Don't worry. Good shot, good defense, a lot of encouragement. There's no negativity on the bench, in the huddles. That's the best thing about this team, and I feel like that starts with the bond we have off the court. It's just a positive team. I feel like no matter what happens throughout the season, we all gonna stick together. So that's the best feeling to have.
I always think when you're playing your first game, you're especially when you have a lot of new guys, it's always, it's always one of those guys are trying to figure out how to play, what to do. And so it took us a little while to get going, to just kind of get a feel for the game. We're a little anxious, a little hurried with our shots, maybe a little risky defensively. But I thought as the time went on and we got to somewhere, 5-6 minutes of the game, we kind of established ourselves, especially on the defensive end, really played in the gaps and took away some of the penetration, forced a lot of turnovers more than anything. And I think in the first half, they had 18 turnovers. So that was a big deal and why we had a 15-point lead. And I think guys started to get into a little bit of a rhythm. Faircon in the first half and Colin Golson as well, too. And I thought Orlando Lovejoy was, the guy for today. Like he really made a lot of things happen on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively, really attacking the paint. And it was good to see Jalen Billingsley, especially in the second half, knock down some threes, getting a little bit of a flow. Several guys in double figures. I think the biggest challenge for us, especially going forward, is we've got to tighten up the rebounding area. We've got to finish around the basket a lot better. And we've got to be a team that's a little bit more tougher, a little bit more physical, and just a team that's going to play for 40 minutes. I think we turn it on, we turn it off, and we've got to be a consistent team for 40 minutes. So, that's par for the course this time of the year, but something we definitely have to fix.
Well, speaking of fixing, I know obviously you didn't get as many opportunities this time, but from the exhibition tonight, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. So obviously there was an improvement there. You mentioned toughness, getting back to the line more often. I would assume that would be something you're looking for, correct?
Yeah, I think sometimes we just settle offensively. We might come down and have a no pass possession or a one pass possession. And really for us to be a really good team, we're going to have to be a team that moves the ball in half court. I'm not talking about fast breaks or something like that, but we're in half court. We got to have some movement. We have some touches. We have some inside out action as well to get into the paint, play out of that situation. So lots of things that we're going to break down in the film and improve ourselves. I thought we saw improvement from our first exhibition to our first game, and now we got to make some more improvement as we get ready for Friday.
And speaking of Friday, obviously it's kind of a big game. Kind of what are some of your thoughts heading into that game? What are you looking for from your team?
Well, we have to play better. With the size they put out on the court, us rebounding, us defending inside, that's gonna be a big deal. And us being a team that can control the ball but not give up open looks. They've got some really good shooters when you look at Jed Howard, as well as Kobe Boykin. Both those guys are very, very good shooters. But Hunter Dickinson's probably if not the best big man in the country. He's definitely in the top 3 or 4. So, and he's a problem. He can score, he can pass. He's 7 foot. He's a very, very difficult player to play against. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. But we present some challenges too. And, we've got some speed, we got some quickness. I think we'll have some guys that will shoot and play a little bit better in that particular game. And we need them to do that, to step their games up. So we're going to spend the next couple games, a couple of days improving ourselves in practice, but at the same time, knowing what we can do and be effective against Michigan.
And finally, last question, 46-77 was our attendance tonight, 4th
Awesome.
crowd in George Gervin game above center. Talk about the
just flat awesome, just awesome. They were into the game, gave us a lot of energy as well too, and we really appreciate that support. And we want to build on it. We want to make sure we do our part to make people come back and bring a friend.